organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV.
Find out what University of Iowa health officials are saying about popular energy drinks.
And a longer school year?
Not for everyone. See which states plan to extend academic hours for public schools.
And in sports, Hawks making some news in the pool. We've got all the action covered on the way.
That's coming your way next. Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning into your Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Nicole Meehan.
And I'm Rebecca Hager. Certain energy beverages do more harm than good for students who are studying for finals. Daily Iowan TV reporter Laura Gibbs explains why students may want to skip the concentrated caffeine.
A recent article in the Los Angeles Times revealed that 5-hour energy drinks have been cited in the deaths of 13 people in the last 4 years. This alarming news has come to the attention of University of Iowa health officials who expressed concern about the frequent use of highly concentrated caffeine drinks becoming part of student study habits. A student who wished to remain anonymous said she finds it hard to study without them.
Either buy coffee or these 5-hour energy. I know I buy them all the time when I'm studying, just to give me that boost of energy.
With finals right around the corner, energy drinks are in high demand on campus. But students should take caution and be aware that with that extra boost of caffeine can come many dangerous side effects.
I think if students are going to choose to consume caffeine, they'll get more benefit by consuming something that they're going to sip and consume more slowly. I also do think it's really important that they pay attention to what they are consuming, so it is important for students to take responsibility if they're going to use those, make sure they are going to be safe for them.
Although research shows that getting plenty of rest and taking short study breaks periodically is the best method for studying, students continue to use energy drinks such as 5-hour energy as a means to cram for exams. So while you're studying for finals the next couple weeks, beware of your caffeine intake and stay safe. Laura Gibbs, Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks, Laura. Another concern for students studying for finals is staying alert and healthy. Officials with the Centers for Disease Control says that this year's flu season is running well ahead of schedule. Iowa is second out of the 7 highest states with flu activity. Another less formal measure also supports this conclusion. Google Flu Trends is a service that uses search engine data to predict flu activity in more than 25 countries. You can get a flu vaccination at the UI Student Health Services. Call 319-335-8370 to schedule an appointment.
Thousands of public school students can expect a little less downtime starting next year. 5 states announced Monday that they will add at least 300 hours of learning time to their school year. 40 schools in the state of Colorado, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, and Tennessee will take part in the initiative. Education officials hope the 3-year pilot program will make U.S. schools more competitive on a global level. Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, demolition discussions. See how the future looks for the UI buildings damaged by the 2008 flood.
And in sports, inter-squad debuts for both the Jimhawks and track and field teams.
But now let's first take a look at our local weather forecast with Anna Theodosis.
Thanks, Rebecca. Today was a gloomy day, but temperatures shocked students, reaching the mid-60s, and expect those warm temps to stick around for at least a few days. Tuesday morning will greet us with temperatures hanging around the low 40s with some clouds blocking the sun. By the afternoon, those clouds will clear out, giving way to sunny skies and a high of 54 degrees. Tuesday night will remain clear with a high of 41 degrees. Taking a look at the rest of the week, the sun will stick around through Wednesday as temperatures dip down to the mid-40s. Expect temps to hover in the 40s Thursday and Friday as the clouds roll back in. But the sun will be back out Saturday while students are inside preparing for final exams. And on Sunday, we'll see rain with temps sticking around that 40-degree range we will see earlier in the week. That's all for your weather update. Back to you at the desk.
This week, the State Board of Regents will receive updates on the UI's flood-damaged buildings. The Hancher Auditorium, Voxman Music Building, Clapp Recital Hall, and the Art Building are just a few properties that were engulfed by water in 2008. The board will also discuss budgets and relocation plans. Total flood damages at the UI reached almost $200 million. FEMA has been the biggest contributor to recovery, having allocated almost $80 million for the project.
The Iowa City Council will discuss alternatives for protecting against flooding like we saw in 2008. Last week, the council rejected an $8.1 million levy proposal. The project would have taken place around the Idlewild neighborhood in Parkview Church. It would continue along the Taft Street speedways. Some community members were hesitant about the effect of the project on residents downriver.
A few video cameras will help Iowa lawmakers bring transparency to the Senate floor. The Iowa State Senate will be shown live online when the legislature goes back into session this January. The 5 cameras cost a total of $200,000. Officials say an Iowa Access grant covered $135,000 of the expense. The Iowa House pulled a similar move last year when they installed 6 cameras to record for live video streaming. And now for a look at what's happening outside of Iowa. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton met with Czech government officials Monday to discuss a multi-billion-dollar deal. Clinton lobbied for a $10 billion expansion of a nuclear power plant. She spoke against fierce competition from a rival Russian offer. Clinton said she hopes an American energy bid will lift Russia's influence on the Czech Republic.
And you may be hearing about some tweets coming from the Vatican. Pope Benedict XVI now has his own Twitter page. It only took 6 hours for 150,000 people to follow the Pope. He will be responding to live questions in 8 different languages beginning December 12th.
And speaking of tweets, the hashtag #RoyalBaby popped up all over Twitter feeds early this week. The Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, is now pregnant with her first baby. The announcement came early Monday morning after Prince William's wife checked into a hospital with morning sickness. The palace won't say how far along she is, but we do know that she has not reached the 12-week mark.
Well, that's exciting news. I wonder if the Pope will tweet them congratulations.
Well, maybe once we find out if it'll be a prince or a princess.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But now let's throw it over to Alyssa Bergamini for a look at Hawkeye sports. Alyssa?
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio, where as promised, we have everything covered from quite the weekend in Hawkeye athletics. Multiple sports in action over the break, including a men's and women's swim team shredding records in the pool at the 4th annual Hawkeye Invitational. But we start today with the season debuts for both the Gym Hawks and track and field teams. The Gym Hawks had 16 gymnasts compete in the Fieldhouse on Sunday, including 6 freshmen, giving the Hawks a balanced rotation with 13 letter winners back from last year's campaign. Despite not having an opponent, head coach J.D. Reeve was adamant in the importance of the event, saying, quote, "They can hit their routine in the gym, but you have to put them out in front of judges and a crowd because their brain will go a little haywire at some point. The goal is to expose them to that environment and learn how to adapt to it," end quote. And speaking of exposure, several swim Hawks will be getting a lot more of it. After impressive showings at the Hawkeye Invitational, we now throw it over to Daily Iowan TV Sports' Rebecca Swives to get you caught up on all the records setting from over the weekend.
Records, improvement, victory. That's what the Hawkeyes were after as they dove into the pool this weekend to race some of the fastest swimmers in the nation. This weekend marks the 4th annual Hawkeye Invitational. The men and women's swimming and diving team hosted games from across the nation, including men's defending Big Ten champions. The University of Michigan took to an early lead, ending the first day almost 200 points ahead of second place Notre Dame. The Wolverines dominated the pool in almost every event, and with the help from U.S. Olympian Connor Yeager, the Wolverines won the 3-day invitational with over 1,100 points.
Eye-opening experience in a couple years because they're ranked #1 in the nation right now. They're definitely one of the best teams in the nation, and there are a lot of fast people out there, and we can be up there just right with them, just like we saw in a couple races here.
The Hawkeye men were unable to close the gap for second place and ended the meet in third place behind Notre Dame. But the Hawkeyes still had plenty to celebrate. Iowa freshman Roman Trusov broke the school record in the 100 and 200 breaststroke, while redshirt sophomore Grant Petulius added points for the Hawkeyes with personal bests in 3 different events, including the school record in the 100 backstroke.
It's just good to be where I'm at, where the team's at, this early.
The Hawkeye men ended the meet with a runner-up finish in the 400 freestyle relay.
We just want to come into this meet with a clear mind and just ready to race.
The Hawkeye women also closed out the weekend in third place and a few records of their own. Freshman Olivia Kabasinski took first place in the 200 freestyle and captured the school record in the 50 freestyle with a time of 22.88. She's the first Hawkeye to break the 23-second mark. Kabasinski was not alone. Sophomore Becky Stoughton won the 500 freestyle, breaking the meet record and posting a time that currently ranks 12th in the nation.
The past, 2 weeks, we weren't tapering as much, but we were focusing on small things like drills, turns, starts, and just the really small technical things that make every race much better regardless of how hard it's.
The Hawkeye women will be back in competition water on Friday as they take on Iowa State at the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center. Rebecca Swibes, Daily Iowan TV.
And finally, much like the Gym Hawks we discussed earlier, a balanced squad comes back to the University of Iowa track and field team led by head coach Lane Anderson. Quite a few members from Anderson teams sat this one out, but the Hawks head man liked what he saw from some newcomers and his veterans. Wrapping up the event by telling members of the media, quote, "I felt like there were some great performances. I think we saw some real positive signs from our fall condition, but we have a long way to go," end quote. Well, that does it for us here in Sports Studio. A whole lot more coming up tomorrow, including whether you, the fan, thinks Fran's Bunch will be an NCAA tournament bound come March. That's all for me today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Alyssa. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at tomorrow's edition of the Daily Iowan. Read about sabbatical shifts. See the trends in sabbaticals at the Regent Universities.
Also, she's the new kid on the board. Read about how one UI student scored a spot on the Board of Regents and see what she plans to do with the new position.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.